Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are back again with another Dragonheir video, and in this video we'll be going over an arena guide. So first thing first, let's discuss what exactly happens in arena. So arena is basically a separate game mode entirely, and you have a competitive mode setting. And the way it works is all the heroes level up to the highest level that you have in your general story mode. So for example, like in this case, I have a level 100 somebody, I think it's Filter, who's level 100. So all the champions are brought to that level. This allows you to actually be very experimental with your offense and defense, and you can pick and choose the heroes you want, provided they have scrolls, provided you have enough gear. And even the gear that you use here is not going to be used in the general story. So for example, all the gear that you see here with the champion portrait right here, this is all being used only by my arena champions. It's not being used by anyone else. So that actually gives you a lot of flexibility to play around, and you don't really have to worry about like, hey, who did I put on what gear? And it just makes things way too simple. And you get a lot of freedom to experiment, and you get a lot of freedom to play around with different compositions. You can go ahead and pick and choose whatever affinity you want. So I really like that setting. I wish that setting would be applied everywhere in the game. Once you level up one hero, why do you need to level up every other hero? It just makes it harder because the season is going to be only 3 months, right? But let's jump right into it. So currently there are, I think there are 4 tiers in general. You start off in Stone Goat Fighter, and these are your weekly rewards. So the weekly reset happens and you get these kind of rewards, and each tier is gonna increase. Just going by the rewards itself, this is a small rant, but this is the only gacha of the game I've played where the rewards are so bad. This 80 gems is basically nothing, and this is an affinity solvent. You won't carry this over season, and 6,000 gladiator seal, which gladiator seal is used in arena exchange shop, and I'm going to show you that as well. There's some pretty cool things that you're going to get over there. But basically this is the tier that everybody should avoid, whales included. I mean, you want to be there, sure, you can park your account there, but nothing really happens in this area. Initially when I landed here, I couldn't fight anybody, and now the only people I can fight with are probably the worst defenses because they're just too tanky, and it's not fun at all. You can't experiment, you have to use the same team over and over again. This is where everybody should aim to be. Whatever your spending level is, these tiers are really fun to be in. They're far more you will find far more players there. You will also find like far more comps. You get to learn more. So this is where I will be targeting myself next week onwards. This week my fate is already sealed with this. But next week I'll be targeting this. I'll be trying to do some pretty cool challenges like epics only, so keep an eye out for those videos later. But yeah, these rewards are basically trash, and even based on what tier you have and what rank you have, you also get these separate ranking awards. I was pretty sure that they had a legendary scroll in beta. I'm not sure why they removed it entirely. This is basically trash. 400 would sound a lot for arena, but you think about like what it takes to get there, it's not even remotely good. Even a cosmetic item, right? Like you could get, if you win arena, you get like some sort of a cosmetic badge. Even that alone would be worth for players to fight for. But there's nothing rare. Affinity solvent goes away by the end of the season. You really don't care about it. Only in the season Psyche Core you need it to upgrade the Psyche Core. That's pretty much it. But after that, it just goes away completely. These gems you will keep. You can maybe buy one Heliolite dice, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, these rewards are nothing. You should only be playing arena if you want to have fun. Don't take it as like, oh, I'm gonna beat somebody and rank high. It's not worth it. From my point of view, if you want to go, you can go. Like the reason that I said like this tier is so bad is like 3 days ago somebody attacked me and that's it. So yeah, I really do want to change things up, but I'm gonna show these tanky defenses later. But now let's move on. Since I've told you about this thing, let's go to the exchange shop. So why you want to be in silver is because in silver you can buy this Heliolite dice. So it's a 9-day reset for me right now. It's typically 2 weeks. The first week I was playing, it was 1 week. Now it's got to 2 weeks, so hopefully it doesn't exceed that. it still feels a lot. Like I should be able to buy one healer light dice from arena once a week. That doesn't seem too much to me, honestly. Even if you think about it, that's like what, 12 healer light dice. It's not even guaranteed a legendary. Like, why are you being so stingy about it? Like, just let this be on a weekly basis. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But you also get to buy this lucky playing cards artifact. So this artifact is going to, it's good for arena only. There are some ways that you can use it in late game content. I'll showcase that when I get a chance. But if you build a very powerful nuker, you get to, like, fully crit and everything. It's fun, but in PvE not so much. PvP, yeah, it can work a lot. And a lot of the beta guys who were able to get to gold level were able to buy this in the shop before. So I already have this item, but I can buy it one more. I will try to buy it. I'm already at 26,000, so I'm just waiting for. I think in a couple of weeks I should be able to buy it. The rest of the stuff is okay. Essence, I personally like. It's okay to buy. Like, you get 600 essence for 2,000 coins, but you're getting a healer like dice. Anything you get from here, you're gonna keep. Anything you get from here is, I think, 75% is going to be kept, or there is some weird mechanic to it. Hold on, let me actually go through it. So it's partly preserved. A bonus essence creation will be issued as the season begins. So anything from this thing, there's a percentage to it, and I think it's 75%. I may be wrong. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I wouldn't get in the exchange shop. This thing, like, only if you really need it, you can get it. Once you buy the first 2 items you need to buy are these. These are going to carry you over season, so do buy these. This is also going to be taking, you can carry these season over season, so you can buy these too if you need it. I personally don't need these items. I only look for like heal light and the artifact that I'm looking for. But yeah, you can buy these if you want to level up your artifacts. It's a good way to get it. It's like 600, but make sure you have enough to buy the Heliolite first. Only then buy this thing, right? It doesn't make any sense. But moving over to arena, right? So typically the way you want to do arena, especially the offense, somebody has already given you a defense, right? Actually, let's go to Storm's defense. Yeah. So let's assume that I have to place my champions. I've already decided my champions, but let's talk about the team composition for offense in this game, right? There are some nuances to it. This is not a 100% rule by any means, but this is general stuff. Generally, you have somebody who does AoE control, right? And what you want is, like, this AoE control unit should be fast. Like, you need skill haste, you need the hourglass. If you don't have the hourglass, it's fine, don't worry about it. Like, if you're in a mid tier, relax, the rewards are pretty trash. Just set a one-man defense and, like, just roll over people. What you really want is like a fast AoE control unit. So this is she's going to provide like a stun if they don't have a buff, and place a buff prohibition on them, right? So it's pretty strong. I really like it. And you need these people to be very fast. So the sets that you're going to use are going to be very specific. Like this one was called the 3 Years Emblem set. You're going to use 2 pieces of that. You're going to use 2 pieces of Swift Shadow Dagger set, and that way you get the 20 haste from both of them, right? And that's what you really want. You really want these champions to be really fast. So like, if somebody else goes first, if their control unit goes first, then you won't be able to ult. So that's basically the logic here. And you want skill haste roll on the left ruin. Doesn't matter the main stat, don't worry about it. On the right stat, you want accuracy. Depending upon some of the champions and the tiers, like I think in silver 1, 2, it could be something else. Not many people build a very resist team, but if you are facing a resist team, then you need to switch this to accuracy with skill haste, as much skill haste as you can get. The legendary gear drop rate is going to increase in about, I think, a week now, and you will be able to get a ton of legendary gear after that. So that's the logic behind this control unit. It could be any control unit. This is not the only option. There are epic options too, and I'm gonna show you how to make like an epic team as well. Now it comes to, so the first thing that we've done is get a AoE control. That's the most important part. The second not as less important is alt control. So El works as a both alt control and control, right? So she's that good that you can both charm them and reduce their ultimate energy by 50%, and that makes sure that your team goes first, right? So these are like amazing examples. There are one epic example that is AoE stuff that you can use, but these are the two examples right here. So I'm using both of them because her stun is not guaranteed, but she is faster. And the reason she's faster is because changes to inspirations. And what do you want to do when you are going against one? Once you've decided the team composition that, okay, I'm going to be using my control unit, I'm going to have at least 2 DPS units, and I'm going to have a tank and a healer, right? The healer could be a support or somebody that just keeps your team alive, right? Before like they should be able to ultimate. If they don't ultimate, there is no way you win. So, and the way it works is like you have a particular time, right? You have a particular time to kill everybody else, you die. That's plain and simple. If you cannot ultimate within that, if you cannot kill the enemy team within the time limit, it's counted as a loss for you, and the defense counts as a win. And a lot of people exploit it by using a tanky defense, and I think most of the, even including me, especially in the top tier, that's the defense that most people have chosen, so I had to go with the flow. But I hope they nerf it. I made a post on the main Discord channel that the arena is broken with this thing. There should be some sort of a mechanic in which the offense gains more. If you don't keep an offense unit, you're better off in defense, to be honest. But that out of the way, so the next thing you're going to look at, and since we have not memorized all the skills, is going to check what is the skill range and what does the skill do, and you're going to place the units. There are many times that you can place units to avoid it. All these units that I have are actually counterable, right? You can counter a Tamar by your main character. I'm not even kidding about it. You just use the ice main character and she won't be able to stun you, because she needs no buffs on you to stun, and shields don't count towards as a buff. Then here we have a Trollgar, right? So actually, before we actually move to Trollgar, let's just go with Havita, right? Havita battle skill, it does like this 3-tile range damage, right? So immediately when first thing I'm going to do, position my champions, these 3 tiles are unavailable to me basically. I don't want my champions to take damage, and just with one move, I have negated a Havitar's battle skill. One of the most broken champions' battle skill is no longer going to work. And the next thing I'm going to do is like look at these skills, because I don't remember all of them. So he jumps and strikes an enemy, that's fine. He's going to probably kill off my Havitar in that case. Then we have Lucian. Lucian is very interesting champion, but his kit is OP, but he himself is trash. The problem is that he's supposed to protect you from all the control and ult reduction in the game, right? Or in the arena especially. And when you have this kind of champions who basically do nothing besides that, it's very hard to place them in the comp, right? Because if Storm took him out, and Storm is my guildmate and I've played with him in the beta with the same server, he took him out for Urgander, right? So he's thinking that the value of this Lucian is going to be higher than Urgander, but the kit difference is a lot, right? And he was supposed to protect you against control and everything, but his 8% max HP is just too low. This max HP shield is just too low. It needs something else. Like, it should be a bit bigger, because he's bringing nothing else. Like, he's bringing recharge speed penalty and like frozen to one enemy. It's fine, but like it's not just, it doesn't work like that. You need something better, because most of the people are going, like, if I play this match, I'm going to be able to reduce the shield pretty quickly, right? Then we have somebody called Philosia. So immediately when you see this, right, Rift Hourglass, you know that this is going to be the fastest champion. First thing you're going to do, don't look at just the skill haste number. This can be misleading. Like, if you just compare skill haste, she's 33 and mine is 107, I'm going to think, oh, I'm going to go first. But it's not the case. Her ultimate is going to be a it's 17 seconds actually, right? But this doesn't show you the booked value. So you have to do a bit of math and reduce this by 6 seconds. So it's a 9.94 seconds initial recharge. And if it goes out, my Tamar is useless, right? Just think about it. I have triple the skill hits. Just keep that in mind, right? And this is going to go at 9.94. And my ultimate is going to go at 9.88. And this is the reason that I said like pay close attention to it, because Philocia's ultimate recharge time is 1 second lower than my champion. I think when you're fully booked her, when you fully scroll up, her ultimate goes at 11 seconds and mine goes at 12 seconds. So by default, she has a very strong advantage in this game, because 1 second of skill hits is a lot to cover, and most champions will not be able to cover it properly. And since she has this accuracy thing, it's going to be very challenging to cover that, right? So this champion now is going to be Gulen. Gulen is an AoE damage dealer and a healer kind of thing, like it's a quasi healer. Attack penalty too, but he hits actually very hard, and we have a stun going on. So how should I place my champion? That's the next question, right? What I will do in this kind of setup, I want to place my Urganders in Flora's range, because that will drive the traffic here, right? This opens up this aspect of me where I can attack the Philocia directly with my nuker. And I'm going to place my Havita here. So she has a 3-tile range, and I'm going to be covering their support units instead of DPS. I'm not too worried about the DPS units, primarily because they're going to be attacking my Urgander. They will have an attack down. I have the advantage. The next thing to remember is that my ultimate may not kill these guys, but they will definitely kill this guys, right? So the entire argument is like you need to kill off the supports and then you kill off the DPS. Some cases you want to kill off the DPS first, so don't get me wrong. This is not like applied to everything. It's a general strategy. Sorry. And I will leave my mermaid here. And once I start the battle, like since he's attacking, look how closely I can change it, right? Now he's attacking her, but if I move slightly here, he's going to be attacking her. So this is a bad placement on defense, and I'm going to be giving a defense placement guide as well. You don't want to place your support units so close to the enemy. I have no idea what he was thinking exactly, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to place both the DPS in the same line. You don't want to put both the supports in one line. Like if I had a 3-tile hitter, right? Where is Filto, right? If I bring my Filto's ultimate in this 3-tile range is going to affect it. And most people are not going to have Havita. Most people are not going to use the AoE damage dealer. They're going to have like some sort of a range. And this is not a good range to be in. You don't want them so close to each other, especially your defense and supports. So once I fight, let's see how it goes. I'm going to put it at X1. And I'm going to stop as well. Like so, right at the instance, she's gotten with attack down. And I keep starting to reduce their shield. I need to reduce their shields placed by Lucian in order for my Tamar to place the stun. And the reason that I've chose this lane, right, with Havita is so that I can get through that shield and Tamar can place. I don't care about whether I'm for sure know that these guys won't be faster than my mermaid, as we checked. So my entire goal is to take down these 3 shields. So once she ultimates, she's gonna stun, and then she's gonna remove the ultimate energy as well. So now he went towards my lowest HP champion, and there comes the stun, right? And you can see like we didn't stun Trollgar because he still had a little bit of shield maybe, but everybody else got stunned. Oh, we didn't stun Guland as well, so hopefully we're faster. But the major threat is gone. The major support, who would have delayed this fight, was Philocia, and we managed to kill her. We lost our Havita, but our mission is accomplished. Like that's about it. That's all we needed to do. It's still like so right now we are in trouble, loads of trouble. Are we? No. So this is why like the control is so important in this game, that you have the ability to completely outmaneuver a champion, and that's it. I got my one fight of the day and I'm done. So now let's move actually over to check how to set up a defense, right? So a defense typically, like in this case, I'll actually show you with epics too, like how I basically go about thinking defense. You have to see what your skills are. Like this is going to be buffing this entire area, and I don't want anybody outside of that range. That buff is going to help me out. That buff is going to, heal. So it's pretty good buff on a battle skill, and I don't want anybody outside of that range. This is an AoE, so it doesn't matter where you place your champions. But when you're making a defense, you have to be sure like which tile range are you going to be putting your defense in, right? As we saw with Storm, like I was able to attack the support unit, and that should never happen. And also the distance should still be there. Like I can still place like this and this, but I'm like, if I remove her one step here, like this is also going to be fine, right? So they have to choose like who do they want to attack, which side, and they can never kill more than 3 of my champions, right? So 2 champions are always going to be there. They're going to be problematic. My bet is they're going to go for this one, right? So you got to protect the Mithrasi. So you put somebody like this, so that becomes more intensive, right? Like you want to place like somebody right here, so nobody has access to your support. If I move him here, for example, right, if somebody places their attack champion right here, they will open up to my El Cibre. They can directly attack her because the range is higher over here versus there. So you want to place the champions in such a way that you don't leave any open spots for them to target you. And the reason that I have Mithrasi, who's a reviver, behind my Urgander is because Urgander passive is going to be attack down. So if they're trying to push through here, they will have to force themselves through an attack down, right? Tamar, I don't care about. She's only there for like the first 2 ultimates. That's it. So that's why like she's there. So if somebody wants to attack from here, most of the bulk of the attack is going to be taken on this side, but protects my Mithrasi and my Urgander. And Mithrasi can revive, El Cibre can control. If they choose to attack from this side, I have my Urgander here, who's going to place attack down. So you have to be very logical when you're doing the placement. Placements are very, very important. And the next step is going to be picking your aura, right? So the way I build this team is having a high resistance. So this one has like close to 500 resist. This has 550 accuracy. This one has close to 500 accuracy. This has so this is since I've placed her here, my thinking is that I don't want to get somebody like Frost or anything like that on her. So that's the only resistance I'm thinking. My goal is just to get like decent enough defense and defensive attack with some good skill haste, so she can go around in circles, right? And I need some better gear for that. This one, I do want to change these 2 pieces. This should be the Swift Shadow set, so I can get her faster. So that'll be 20 extra skill haste. But yeah, she's decent. She has her high accuracy. I would like to get it higher as well. So with the bonus as well, I think it's 40 accuracy. So I should be able to push it to about 500. And once I do that, I'll be able to use her in much more interesting way, because her passive is really cool. She applies a blind, but that's not the good part. The good part on defense is that her resistance is same as her accuracy. So the higher her accuracy, the higher her resistance. And I'm using a resistance aura. I actually don't need to use a resistance aura. I can probably go with a defensive aura and save this. But you can also do a lot of different things in you can also do a lot of different things with epics. Say for example, you don't have any legendaries, right? So what goes in a team building? And it's not like you cannot build a team, it's just that the success rate is not going to be as high. But you don't want to be that high anyways in this game. There's no advantage. It's actually loss in this case. So my first choice is going to be like, hey, I'm gonna pick Lola, right? Is it Iola or is it Lola? Do let me know in the comments below, because I used to call her Iola, but I see people spell it out with L, and I used to think this is I. Anyways, she has a silence. It's not as great as something with like stun, right? So each of these controls are not the same, and I'm going to be making a video talking about all these buffs and debuffs in the game to better explain what each one of them does. But she inflicts an attack penalty for 10 seconds, which is pretty nice, but what you really want is that silence to go through, right? And then she has a chance of inflicting silence with this skill as well. So she's basically going to be controlling the tank who's going to attack you, or you can use her to attack somebody as well. So this part is the good part. When attacking enemies under silence, there's a 40% chance of changing it to stun. You want the stun, so she's pretty good as an epic. Like, I think it's more fair if people just use epics for fighting, because some of the legendaries are just stupid. Then we are going to talk about a tank. You need a tank in this case, so we have Radiance, one of the best tanks in the game. This is a tanky Acilia. He's Acilia's brother, maybe. Somehow he got lost. His skill set is very similar actually, not same, but dispels all debuffs from the hero, heals all allies. Then he has this knock-up effect and a hit recovery. Hit recovery is basically they gain the HP when they're being attacked. But yeah, this battle skill is not the important part. I think it's this ultimate that is just so broken, and the passive. So the passive will allow you to stack up a lot of defense in the fight, and he has a defense aura as well. So you got your aura too. Next up, we need a healer. So since we're aiming for a 3 affinity bonus, or should we pick somebody else? Let's go over what else do we need. We need nukers. Unfortunately, I don't know any good epic nukers in the game, but if you I've tested them some, but not to the extent that I would like, thanks to the limited stamina that we have in the game. But I know that in Frost, this guy was my absolute favorite, and so was this girl. So when you're placing damage dealers on your defense, right, you want to put them apart. You don't want them in the same area. So for example, I have this tank here, I'm going to put him here. But he's also a healer, so I can actually free up another tank. So for this tank, we can go towards... So we have Frost 2, Lightning. We need another Frost then. We can also go with Varish in this case. So he's going to heal us from the backline. But it becomes very tight, right? Like, so I need to place him here. I need to place her here. I need to place her here. And Varish can somewhat be here. Because if I place him close to here, then if somebody can pick, they can choose which one to attack. So I need a little bit here. That's fine. And your DPS unit in this game should never be melee. If it's a melee unit, it's pretty much over. A lot of melee units, like they have like a really cool jump ability, like the troll guy we saw, but his jump ability has like a delay. The best jumper in the game is Nazjenka. She's probably the best. So I will build probably something around this. The healing is going to be there from these two. There's attack down and there's buff control. Now what you really want to do is to maximize your controlling, right? So I have Varish and I have Lola or Iola. He has the AoE ultimate, right? I'm gonna try to make him fast right after her, right? So I'm gonna try to make both of them fast. I'm gonna be putting the 3 emblem set on them and the Swift Shadow set. And I'm going to be I'm going to be placing the 3 emblem set on her because she already does a control, and I'm going to be putting the Holy Hunter set on him. So when he does the AoE or when he's doing the single target attacks, he's also stunning people, right? That's going to be my main source of like some control, and I'm not even kidding about it. I have it on my Urgander. So my Urgander is in the Holy Hunter set as well. So he has a 20% chance to stun, and it comes in really handy. Like, you will be surprised how many times it actually affects the enemy team. And what the 3-second stun does is like it stops the ultimate meter from building up. So when you're stunned, you don't build ultimate meter. So not only are you delaying them to ultimate, it's just they cannot attack. So it's pretty cool debuff. I think stun is one of the most powerful things, so definitely use that. For him, I would go with something which just maximizes his defense. You can also place him in the Ancestral Protection set, right here. So the Ancestral Protection set, he's going to absorb the damage from others. But if you think about it, like, nobody else is going to get hit unless it's an AoE. So he's only going to be absorbing when somebody does like an AoE battle skill or something or the other. So that's the only good reason to have him like this. So now when somebody attacks you and they have a shorter range, they have to choose which damage dealer support unit they target. They don't have like an easy... If I place everybody like this, right, it's going to be like really easy for anybody to kill me. because I have everything open. I can place everybody here and they can attack everybody. Or if I have like a 3-tile range, I'm nuking your entire team. So you gotta make it as difficult as possible for the other team to attack you. And the only way you can do that is by having a spread out defense in such a way that none of your champs are at risk, right? So if I place him here, he's at risk. He may be at risk, but this way he's not at risk at all. There's no way that somebody will attack him and not attack him, right? There's 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's this. Yeah, this place is fine, or we can push him even further back to be absolutely sure that nothing is going to affect him. So you gotta create some space to help out your team. I think, yeah, so that's pretty much a good team to have. There are other champions that you can do. You can build like 3 healers at the back and 2 defense units if you really want to be toxic with epics too. You can definitely do that. There's some like really cool epics, which, for example, like Horus. Where's Horus? Horus is amazing. There's also, where did he go? Here, Furbath, one of the best epics in the game, personally. So there's a lot that you can experiment. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. I will probably make an arena team just consisting of epics. So my plan is next week I will be making an epic only team to fight in the silver. So I'll be fighting all these champions. Big Tree, like I know that he has some amazing champions. So there are not many players right now in the silver, but I'm hoping that they will come down here. But I will try to fight my way through silver and see how far I can get with my gear with just epics. So make sure to press a like if you want to see that video. I'll see you guys next time.